Hi, this is Scott Garibay, and today I am going to be talking about a new word that I am coining. The word is Knowle. The word is Knowle. Knowle. Right? Now, this word will mean work that is primarily done using mental activity. Right? So the reason why we need this new word is because of the word labor. So right now, I believe at the end of 2016, we are going into a period where there is going to be a lot of talk about labor. I was recently reading an article that talked extensively about labor, that talked extensively about unskilled labor. And the people in the article were saying that the article was pointing out that labor is generally undervalued, and that unskilled labor is now a major issue within the United States of America, right? Because there are a lot of people who want to do unskilled labor, and generally, often the numbers for what you would make for doing unskilled labor are very, very low. And then when I looked below, there were people saying, I don't like this term, unskilled labor, right? Which I can definitely understand why people would not like that term. So I am proposing the coining of this new word. I'm saying that we should start using this word, Knowle. And Knowle is to do work that is primarily using mental activity, right? So a good example, let me give an example. So a system architect, an information technology system architect, would be someone who would design information technology systems, perhaps multiple information technology systems, and then would do the work of integrating do the design work, just the design work of integrating their systems with other existing systems, whether those be legacy systems or current systems or systems that are being built by other system architects, right? Highly, highly technical work. This work would be knowling, right? And the person who did this work, this information technology system architect, would be a knowler, right? And I'll just spell it one more time. Knowle, right? And that, it would be synonymous to work, but with the caveat that it is dealing with work that is primarily coming from mental activity, where the primary component of that work comes from mental activity. The most value from that work comes from mental activity. Now, the reason I think we need this word is I for a long time have believed that labor is generally understood to mean physical labor, right? And I feel like we need to really reinforce that and allow the word labor to mean work that is done primarily using physical activity. So an example of labor would be a person using a jackhammer to break up the sidewalk in a city, right? A section of sidewalk. Now, certainly they need knowledge, and they're going to use mental activity to know how to use that power tool. But the primary part of that work is physical labor. The valuable part of that work is physical labor, right? It is, so that would be physical labor. And so breaking apart a sidewalk would be labor, and designing an information technology system would be Knowle, right? Now, the reason why, again, I think we really need this word, and it's important to have it, is we are going into a period where we're really going to have to talk very seriously about the value of work. And one of the issues that we have is, I do believe that it would actually, it's really challenging. There is a desire by many people for labor, as I've defined it, to be higher valued, right? The issue is, though, that what you need to do to be able to labor is a lower bar than what you need to do in order to Knowle. And that is a serious issue, because if in order to Knowle, you have to go get a degree, you have to go get a certification, you have to go get, these learnings at a considerable cost. Today, a very, very considerable cost. Then how do you put work that can be done without nearly as much preparation at the same value, right? But I think we've just seen in this year 2016 that when you do not value labor, some very unusual, perhaps alarming things can happen. And so I think there needs to be a very distinct discussion about the nature of labor, the value of labor, the nature of Knowle, the value of Knowle, and how we come to an understanding to allow people to labor and to Knowle and to pay people fairly. And honestly, I believe I'm still thinking on this issue. I'm not sure if I have a solution, to this problem right now, but I definitely understand that in order for you to identify a problem and to identify a solution, you need language as a tool to discuss that problem in a way that is accurate and useful. And so that is why I'm coining the term Knowle, and Knowle. And today I will be going to Knowle because I am a Knowler, and all day I will be Knowling. Thank you very much. Take care.